Now let's start with those displays. The Pixel 2 XL uses an 18:9, 2880 by 1440, 6-inch OLED panel. It looks fairly crisp, but obviously the screen has come under fire for lacking any kind of real depth and contrast. Some phones have had really off-color screens, so in that regard they look a little bit muted, a little bit dead versus most other phones on the market, despite packing in that P3 color gamut, or at least something that Google said it's going to add to the phone down the line. Now, if we move over to the HTC u11 Plus, the phone has obviously a slightly more squared appearance, but has nice thin bezels either side of its screen, which look a little bit nicer versus the Pixel 2 XLs. It again features a 6-inch 18:9 aspect ratio display, 2880 by 1440 resolution, but it is the company's Super LCD 5 technology, so it looks great. HTC has proven that can make some really nice screens in past iterations of its top phones, and this is no exception here. Great viewing angles, nice color, really pops, and again they're adding in the DCI P3 color gamut in a software update down the line before the phone rolls into 2018. And whilst we're looking at the front of the phone here, obviously the software experience is slightly different, but both phones are running Android Oreo. Obviously on the Pixel 2 XL you have a stock experience of Android Oreo, but it does feature things like this squeezable edge to activate the Google Assistant. Now that feature is also built into the software on the u11 Plus, but they've modified EdgeSense that we saw on the original u11 to feature this new EdgeSense launcher, which is basically a customizable wheel that you can move from one side of the screen to the other, and you can access as many apps as you want from this, so it makes one-handed use much more possible. You can also customize the squeeze behavior on the u11 Plus to do everything from activate the Google Assistant, to activate the Alexa Assistant, to launch the camera, to even take a selfie. You can kind of really customize that experience, so you have a lot more control over the squeeze ability on this phone versus the Pixel 2 XL. Now, at the top of the screens, both phones also feature 8-megapixel front-facing cameras. You can see that the module on the u11 Plus is a little bit bigger. I believe it features a slightly wider 85-degree wide-angle lens, so you'll be able to get more people in there. It also shoots in HDR by default, and there's a wide a panorama selfie mode in there as well for the camera experience. We can't show you the depths of the software on the u11 Plus right now because it's pre-release, but when the phone comes in for review, we will be sure to dive into the software experience much more readily. Now, if I turn the phones around, we have obviously two black models here. Both phones come in different colors. The Pixel 2 XL has this all black model. I believe there's the more interesting Panda model as well, with the white body. The body itself is polycarbonate covered aluminium, so it's an aluminium body. It is cold to the touch when left alone. You have this rear-mounted fingerprint sensor, obviously at the middle there, which supports gestures. Then you have the glass kind of visor at the top, where you'll find the 12-megapixel OIS-laden camera with the dual LED flash. Now, it's a pretty similar experience on the u11 Plus. The main difference being the all glass back. It uses the same optical spectrum hybrid deposition technology, so you can get this kind of nice kind of graphite effect going on in the glass. It is an absolute sucker for fingerprints, absolutely attracts them like nobody's business. There's also a really cool translucent option that we have in some of our other u11 Plus videos, which you can check out on the channel. And then it too features a fingerprint sensor on the back because of that larger 18:9 aspect ratio display, and then a centrally positioned 12-megapixel camera that uses the company's own sensor technology. You get optical image stabilization and electronic image stabilization, so you have that kind of dual stabilization capability. Again, you get the HDR boost, so it shoots in HDR by default with 0 shutter lag. And also that kind of leads me on to performance quite nicely. So both phones also boast pretty much the same specs, more or less. The version that we're getting in the UK of the u11 Plus features a Snapdragon 835 processor and 6 gigabytes of RAM. It's non-expandable, and it features, I believe it's 128 gigabytes of internal storage. There are two storage flavors of the Pixel 2 XL. You get a 64 and a 128 gigabyte, whichever one you pick. You also get 4 gigabytes of RAM and again a Snapdragon 835. So same processor, slightly more RAM in the u11 Plus, and obviously double the storage by default in the u11 Plus, whereas you have to pay more for the 128GB model of the Pixel 2 XL. You also get I believe it's a 3,520 mAh battery inside the Pixel 2 XL and a 3,930 mAh battery in the u11 Plus. Both phones charge via Type-C USB, which you can see on the bottom. Both also don't feature a headphone jack. I don't believe there are headphones in box with the Pixel 2 XL, but you do get an adapter. Meanwhile, HTC is bundling its U-Sonic USB-C headphones, which support high-res audio. This phone supports LDAC, aptX HD as well, Bluetooth 5.0, like the Pixel 2 XL. And you can have that noise cancellation as well, that active noise cancellation. So there's a little bit more going on with the Pixel 2 XL, with the HTC U11 Plus, if that's what you're looking for, especially if you like audio or good video chops too. So that's about everything I can tell you right now. The HTC U11 Plus is going on pre-order. I believe it's on the 20th of November in the UK, and it should retail for around £699 SIM-free, whereas obviously the Pixel 2 XL is a little bit more, even for the base 64GB model. You can read and watch more about both of these phones on recombo.com and on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and thanks for watching.